one thing I've been noticing, and I've been thinking a lot about the language thing too, is it's like Mackenzie's at this point right now where, she's got a good grasp on what's happening around her. I know she doesn't understand the inner workings, but she knows when she's hungry, she knows she's hungry, and she knows what she wants to eat. She might even have an idea what she wants to eat, but she can't articulate anything yet at all. Right?
Yeah.
So she has these freakouts, right? Like she just loses her mind in an instant if she's not getting what she wants, right? And it's up to us to sort of like juggle around and be like, which is not different than she was when she was a month old, but I'm watching like the frustration happening, right? She's losing patience. And I know that's going to be a big part of her, like developing like the next set of words, when she starts to form sentences, it's going to be out of frustration and just like she's going to be losing her mind, going like, why can you not give me what I want?
Yeah,
well, because you're just screaming at me, and I want the screaming to stop, and I would, but at the same time, I don't know if you're screaming because you're thirsty, and I notice that like a lot. Like she'll be really upset, and all she wants is a glass of water.
Yeah,
We're thinking like that wasn't even part of the 3 months ago. You weren't giving the baby water; you just gave her formula. Water wasn't part of the equation, but now she wants water.
Yeah.
It's neat that you're constantly having to sort of like break the mold in your mind of what it is.
Oh, she'll change a lot faster than you do. You'll get this. I noticed this. I can't remember exactly when I noticed it, but you're just getting used to one thing and accommodating that, and then that's gone, and she's on to the next thing. That happens all the way up until now. So 20 odd years, later, you're just getting your head around her latest thing, and then it's something else. That was palpable. We got round some of the terrible twos. Because Lily had sign language, we taught her. So we used sign language before she could speak. So she was speaking to us using signs, which is apparently easier. But it still didn't. We thought it would be we thought we were being very clever, and this would resolve the terrible twos. That's kind of because you're right. It's a communication thing. They want something, but they can't articulate it. It's too complex for them to articulate. But it turned out that whatever it was that was causing these tantrums, it was so complex that it probably couldn't be expressed in language by a 2-year-old. It was just something that was happening to them, and they whether it was a feeling of discomfort or panic or whatever it was. I may have told this story before, but we famously had a complete meltdown. She melted down in a department store called John Lewis, and to the point where where one of the guys came over, one of the assistants, one of the floor walkers as they call them, came over to make sure that everything was, is everything all right, sir? And I said, yes, we're just waiting for our mother to finish over there and then we'll be gone. I said, but I can't go out just now. And Lily was she was arching her back and she was screaming at the top of her voice. It was terrible. Oh God, I'll never forget that one. Yeah. But thankfully there weren't that many of those. But yeah, I don't think you can get round it. I think it just happens, and you've just got to suffer it. So
I doubt any of us remember those days ourselves, right? But there is this like I keep thinking about like how would I be experiencing if my legs were growing this fast and my head was growing that fast, and like this. I remember I grew very fast. Like I was fully grown by the time I was 12 years old. So I was a very fast-growing kid.
Right.
And so I went through a lot of pain, right? Like I remember
growing pains.
Being immobile. Yeah, like I even developed a thing in my knees called Osgood-Schlatter, which is where your bones grow faster than your muscles and tendons, right? So like just walking was incredibly painful for me at certain points, and I had to. They put cast on my legs to sort of like with my legs straight to kind of stretch my tendons out and stuff. So
how tall are you now? What height have you arrived at?
I'm at 6'1", so I'm not like a super tall guy. Yeah, I'm taller than average, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
And but I was 6'1" at 12 years old, so I was a giant compared to my classmates at that age.
6'1" at 12, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
size 13 shoes and 6'1", and it was just
wow. At 12 years old, that's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Are other people in your family like that? Is this just to you?
I think my dad grew similarly, I think, because I remember him telling me that like his feet were the same size. Like him saying, when I was 12, I had size 12 feet, whatever it was. Or
God, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I don't know. My brother is smaller than I am. He was born bigger than me, but I grew around him faster, you know.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but there's I have a cousin on my dad's side that he's like 6'8" or something crazy. Like he's huge.
Yeah.
And he grew longer. Like he wasn't done growing at 12. He just kept going. Like
Yeah.
he was always tall, just kept getting taller and taller.
Have you ever met a really tall person who isn't skinny, who's like the right proportions? Do you know, because most tall people get quite thin, you know? Do you know what I mean?
Well, my cousin's like one of those guys. He's built like a football player. He's got very broad shoulders.
Yeah.
He looks like from far away, he doesn't look tall unless he's standing next to somebody else.
Yeah, right. I've only ever seen one guy that was like that, and it was, I don't know whether he was a rugby player or what he was, but I met him I came across him in the supermarket one day, and I remember just being in awe of this guy. He must have been about 7 feet tall. He was huge, and he was in proportion. He was like, and he was muscly. And I just remember thinking, who the fuck? I felt like just asking him, who the fuck are you? Where did you come from? What world do you come from? Because I've never seen anybody like that since, you know. It's the one time I've ever seen anybody like that. It's extraordinary, really. Yeah. So you must have been quite a sort of skinny, geeky sort of teenager then, if you grew that quickly.
I was never skinny. I've always been a big kid.
Like really? Even when you were 6'1" at 12?
Oh yeah, I was probably heavier than I am now. I was always a fat kid.
Oh wow. Yeah, some people are just designed that way, eh?
I guess so, yeah. You know, like Mackenzie's big, like for her age, like she's, you know, like she's in the 99 percentile of her age, right? Her size and everything. And apparently I was almost 10 pounds heavier than her when I was a year old. So I wasn't as tall as her, but I was thicker.
Right.
And I don't know if, and my mom says I wanted to eat all the time. Like I was insatiable. Like it was just constant with the breast milk and everything. I just, you know, you couldn't satisfy me.
Nature just throws the dice, and that's the way it came out for you, because nature wants fat people, thin people, tall people, short people, angry people, calm people, wants all the different varieties, and you just get what you get. Yeah.